Hey man, finally I got this pre-show going. I'm sorry I'm a little late. We're live over here, 77 WABC's Frankie Russo. I got my thing and crazy day today. Got all this stuff going on. As you know, we're going through a lot of different things as a nation as well. So please forgive me. I'm a few minutes late. I we got a launch on the America's team. I want to do a little something on that, and then I'm going to go into the model that we've been developing for the last 5 months, and I'm going to add a few things to that, and we're going to take it from there. Okay? So, okay, good. So before I go into the content of the conceivably the live show at 106 at 77 WABC's The Frankie Russo Show, you gotta understand America's Team today, RussoNation.tv, and now we're live with the campaign Help America, Help America's Team, Help the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. That's the mission on our first crowdfunding campaign. This is the beginning. This is our gift. This is the truth. I mean, this is straight up the truth. I believe this is a winner. This is an absolute winner. Okay? What we're going to do is our funding goal is $50,000. America's Team's going to raise it. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to build a scalable, start off with a scalable center for stress reduction, a stress reduction biofeedback center for the post-traumatic stress disorder that's afflicting many of the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. It's unbelievable. And between that and the unfortunate suicides that our men and women of the United States Armed Forces are going through, it is horrific. So we believe that we could put together a scalable rent 3 rooms, hire a doctor, a nurse, staff or whatever, a doctor and a nurse, get the zero-based gravity chairs, get some music, get some handheld self-contained biofeedback devices, and we're on our way. Not a lot of money. And understand something. $50,000 we're going to raise, and we can do it within that. It'll be the beginning, and we'll see how it goes. We already have access to some veterans that are very interested in getting involved and participating. I got to get a doctor, a nurse, and a scientist. The scientist will help us collect the data because on the back end, we're going to publish it's going to be a scientific article on what we're doing and because this fight or flight syndrome, this post-traumatic stress disorder, these anxiety disorders, the mind-body connection is not anecdotal. It's statistically significant, truth be told. And we believe it could be very helpful. We're not now. Before we move forward with this, understand we're not replacing their medical treatment. We wouldn't be replacing diagnosis or anything like that. Medicine, no way. The medical doctor, no way. This is just an augmentation to what they're doing. This is a place where, quite frankly, the veterans, the men and women of the United States Armed Forces can go. It's a winner. It's a win-win for everybody. Truth be told, America's Team today, RussoNation.tv. So our mission is to make it clear, but the mission is, and understand something. This is my pledge. We raised the $50,000. The administrative costs are going to be very minimal. Okay, I'm not getting no money, and neither is the marketing guru here. the crowdfundbuzz.com CEO Howard Sherman. He's doing a fabulous job on this campaign. He just launched it for me today on Indigo. Howard Sherman, fabulous job. Worked Friday night. Dude's cool. He's my buddy. I mean, it is like this is the thing that I believe is the beginning. This is the first. After we get this off the ground and we get this moving and everything, our next one is going to be something for children. But right now, this is what we're starting with. America's team. We're going to get the veterans. The veterans, nobody's taking care of these veterans. And, with the VA and all this stuff and the waiting for the treatments. We're not a treatment center. We're going to augment stress reduction, biofeedback center for the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. You got to go to Frankie Russo. Eventually, next week, you're going to be able to go to my website. We just went live with the campaign today. You got to go to facebook.com/Frankie Russo Show. And it's one of the top posts. It says, help America's team help the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. Click on that. It'll get you right into the Indigo campaign and make a donation. I'm telling you, this is the beginning of the Americans. Where are the Americans? We start right here. That's my pledge. My pledge to you all. I'm not going to take a dime out of that money. All the crowdfunding that I've done so far, I've been selling T-shirts. I haven't touched it in a PayPal account. I haven't touched it. I raised a couple of $100, over $600. That's our beginning for this. Frankie Russo Show, Frankie Russo pre-show, okay? So that's that. And, I promised my compadre, Howard Sherman, the crowdfund buzz guru. It's crowdfundbuzz.com. Howard Sherman. I promised him that I would shout him out, and that's what I'm doing. He's doing a great job. He did a great job for me before, and he's doing a great job for me now. He put together this campaign, Help America's Team, help the United States men and women in the United States Armed Forces. We got to do this. We got to do this. Okay, good. So now we're going to get into I got that out of the way, and I'll bring it up again. Obviously, I'm going to bring it up on the live show. So now I got this. That's fruit punch. That tastes good. It's a special fruit punch, though. A lot of vitamins. All right, so I'm going to start with the model, and then we're going to get into some stuff. All right? I did a lot of research this week. I got all the links over here. This is one. This is one. Let's see what else we got. Okay, the notes, right? Okay, good. This is what I want. Good. Okay, good. We're good. Okay, beautiful. Now, I'll put that over there. I'll get rid of this. All right. Okay. Now, let's do the model. I got the board. It always comes down to the model. This is where I start. When I start analyzing data, I start with my model. I believe it's statistically significant. That's what I believe. It's well. I just dropped the eraser. It's well sourced. I'm sorry about the last 2 weeks. My computer was doing great right now. It looks great. Oh my God, I missed it. I missed the pre-show. I think I did a pre-show 2 weeks ago, but it was on the other computer. It wasn't on my streaming laptop. So I don't know how good it came out. But so I'm gonna go through the model quickly, and then we're gonna add to this thing. All right. This is this is what I'm doing. I got I got a fraudulent sector service card, statistically significant. Obama, right? That means federal law. He's an illegal president. Can't serve in the executive branch of the United States government. Sheriff Joe Nicole Posse. Memorandum of Understanding with the Clinton Foundation. Right? Now, Russia's in this model. I got Russia right next to Obama. And then I got Russia working with the Iranian Global Terror Network. Then I got this Iranian surrogates. Iranian surrogates. Yeah. Right? I got the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, Quds Force, General Soleimani, Syria, Assad. I got ISIS. I got AQ, Iran. I got Afghan Taliban, Iran. I got Hamas, Iran. And I got, what was the other one? Hezbollah, Iran. Now I got CARE, ISNA, CARE, ISNA, and the other one is NAIT, Alevi Foundation, Asa Corporation, and Bank Melli. Right? Now, remember, Blind Sheik's Mosque. We got release 5 Qud force in Erbil, Iraq. We got Bergdahl trade. We got Hamas, PA. We got Benghazi. Okay. We got Benghazi. right? And then we got Syria, Assad regime. Okay? So this is where we're at. Fraudulent sector service card, Obama, statistically significant illegal president, memorandum of understanding with the Clinton Foundation. Now, this is where this thing becomes a criminal enterprise. Illegal president, fraudulent sector service card, the Clinton Foundation took money, $105,000 from the Levy Foundation, and we found out they're a surrogate, an Iranian surrogate. I forgot the hook to the Iranian Global Terror Network. So, okay, this is beautiful. So now we got the Clinton Foundation, who took $105,000 from the Levy Foundation. Everybody's, that's not a big deal. Who cares? So what? But we found out that the Levy Foundation gave $1.4 million, over $1.4 million to the Blind Sheik's Mosque, the Blind Sheik. And we know what happened over there. 9/11, the Holy Land Foundation trial, Musa Abu Marzouk, Muhammad al-Nouni, the Jersey City Mosque, the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, Ramni Youssef. They also have the Muhammad al-Muwad, that Yemen Sheikh, for guilty of a big terror financier, found guilty in federal courts. The Brooklyn ice cream parlor, all this stuff that went on 1990s and early 2000s out of the Blind Sheik's Mosque, Jersey City Mosque, with the three players and others. Abu Alima, Mohammed Zalman, all these cats were involved in either blowing up buildings, money laundering, or illegal money transmitting. Truth be told. See, because what we're showing here with this model, Obama, Clinton Foundation, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Iranian Global Terror Network. This is our Obama plus Clinton Foundation plus Bill Clinton plus Hillary Clinton plus the Iranian Global Terror Network. We pretty much can get anywhere. Now, understand something. Truth be told, I don't have a check from the Obama bank account paid to the order of Hamas, paid to the order of Hezbollah, paid to the order of the Iranian Quds Force. I don't have anything like that. Matter of fact, I don't have a picture with Barack Obama shaking hands with Omar al-Bashir or the General Soleimani. I don't. I don't have access to classified documents from the Joint Chiefs of Staff. As Obama mentioned in his speeches, that he has these great advisors that he consults. I don't know if he does or he doesn't, truth be told. I don't have access. Well, I don't sit on congressional oversight committees, though I have access to some of the documents. I don't have access to classified documents, but I do have access to statistically significant documents. So I'm setting up this model and showing transactions that have a common theme behind it. I believe it shows with much statistical significance that we can draw from this data that I'm presenting that Obama the Obama administration has been acquiescing, have been capitulating to the Iranian global terror network. Before his administration, during his administration, and quite frankly, it's probably going to be after his administration. So, continuing the model, in 2009, he released the 5 Quds Force leaders that were detained in 2007, put them back as human assets back into the field. Then he has the Bergdahl trade for the 5 Afghan Taliban, and we know what that ended up being, going to Qatar. Qatar, according to Congressman Doug Lamborn, he wrote a letter to Ashton Carter, the DOD secretary, the Department of Defense secretary, claiming that Qatar is a safe haven for terrorists. Why? We have to be very careful. And he mentioned a guy named al-Numani as a Qatari national that's been cited by the United States Treasury Department as a terrorist, as a terror financier. So to extend that, and he's very concerned because we do have $1 billion contract, $1 billion weapons contract, the United States government with Qatar as well. So with all this going on, al-Numani gave $2 million to the Al-Qaeda in Iraq, ISIS, for an indefinite period of time. And in addition, he gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to Yassin al-Sawari, which puts us in, because Yassin al-Sawari is the leader of the Al-Qaeda-Iran nexus in Zahedan city of Iran, according to the Weekly Standard. Now, that's another transaction that has a common theme. Money, and it came out on the O'Reilly show with Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, that not only did they send the 5 Afghan Taliban, they also sent $5 billion, the Obama administration, to Qatar. Money was sent there. Money was sent here to the Blind Sheikh's Mosque. Obama's connected over here with the Clinton Foundation, from the Alevi Foundation. And then we got Hamas, the Palestinian Authority, hundreds of millions of dollars, waiving all these federal statutes that prevent United States dollars going to terrorist entities like Hamas. Obama waived them for humanitarian aid and national security, and sent the hundreds of millions of dollars there. And we know, according to the Washington Free Beacon, Congressional Research Service, that Iran sends tens of millions of dollars to Hamas and rockets. And then we got Benghazi. In Benghazi, it was Ansar al-Sharia that put the hit, the unfortunate hit, the horrific hit on the 4 Americans in Benghazi. And there are many factors, but the Benghazi cover-up is that it's more than Al-Qaeda. This Ansar al-Sharia was an Iranian Quds Force front, and General Soleimani materially supported weapons and money and training to the Ansar al-Sharia group that put the hit on the Benghazi mission. When he sniffed out that there was a secret proxy war going on, they were looking to get weapons through Libya, from Qatar through Libya, to the Syrian rebels to try to take out the Assad regime. And for all intents and purposes, the Iranian Quds Force with General Soleimani was behind the hit. And then we got the Syrian regime, Assad regime, where Obama sent $500 million to the Syrian rebels to prop them up to hit the Assad regime, and it never happened. They had 30 fighters and ended up having 9 fighters, and they're saying the money didn't get into the wrong hands. How do you know who took the weapons? They dropped ammo down there. Who the hell knows? It's a mess, truth be told. So now, with all this going on now, the common theme that runs through this whole thing is Obama administration with Hillary Clinton, because the Clinton Foundation Now understand something, right? With all this going on, we know that Iran is considered by the National Counterterrorism Center as a state sponsor of terror. Iran, I think since 1984. So the sanctions, the economic sanctions were placed on Iran, on their national Iranian oil company and the Bank Melli, their banks, everything. Okay. Now, the common theme that runs through here, the Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation, Bill Clinton, also participated with Obama, has been participating with Obama before Obama came into office, helping the Europe, because some European countries still wanted to do business with Iran to get around the sanctions. And it's been well documented from Sweden, the Bally Aviation, the Interpipe company, and the Uranium One, where basically the Clinton Foundation has been helping Iran and its surrogates, Russia as well, to get around these sanctions. Truth be told. And Obama as well, through these transactions, has been acquiescing. He sent Khomeini like 4 letters pre this. And we got these transactions, the Blind Sheikh's Mosque. A Levy Foundation was in court papers and judge's decision, 650 Fifth Avenue, 53rd Street, Fifth Avenue building, deemed by Judge Catherine Forrest as Iran. Gave over $1.4 million to the Blind Sheikh's Mosque. That's Hamas financing and actual bombing and murdering of thousands of Americans, truth be told. Out of that area, the Blind Sheikh's Mosque, Jersey City Mosque, the releasing of the 5 Quds Force leaders, human assets back, helping Iran. Bergdahl trade, it came out that helped Iran. Hamas PA, Iran's at the end of the funnel, Iran's at the end of the money funnel with the Bergdahl trade. Benghazi, Iran, bomber cover for Iran. The Iranian Quds Force with General Soleimani as the material supporter of Ansar al-Sharia. And then we got the Syrian Assad regime where he even sent a letter from his administration to the United States Congress claiming that the Assad regime had used chemical weapons on their people, killing hundreds of thousands of people, and has done nothing about it. So that's where we're at. And now we got ISIS. So I just wanted to give you an idea of this model, I believe, is statistically significant. And from this model, from this apparatus, the Obama administration, the Clinton Foundation, and the Iranian Global Terror Network, you can pretty much get anywhere. Truth be told. Okay? So I just wanted to refresh everybody because last week I wasn't on the air. So now I want to recap a little bit on ISIS. So to give you a general understanding of what I found out about ISIS, just to give you another way of looking at ISIS. ISIS, we know, is the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. Mainstream media, according to mainstream media, Al-Qaeda in Iraq birthed ISIS. Now, Al-Qaeda in Iraq, as we know, it's my understanding that some of the officials from the Saddam Hussein regime started this Al-Qaeda in Iraq, which birthed ISIS. And I'm going to talk about the two leaders in a minute. The United States Treasury Department has designated the Iranian Ministry of Intelligence and Security materially supporting Al-Qaeda in Iraq and ISIS. That's one piece of information that we know. I've talked about this like 2 or 3 shows ago. I just want to go over because I want to add to it. United States Treasury Department, Qatari National Al-Numani Terror Financier, provided $2 million weekly indefinitely to Al-Qaeda in Iraq, ISIS. In addition, Al-Numani provides hundreds of thousands of dollars to Yassin al-Suwari, who was a designated terror designated by the United States Treasury Department as a terrorist designee. Okay, Yassin al-Sawari is an Al-Qaeda affiliate, head of the Al-Qaeda Iran network in Sahedin city of Iran. He lives in Iran, but he lived. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he may have been struck by a drone recently, as was the other gentleman that was well known. What was his name? It'll come to me in a minute. The other gentleman that was, oh yeah, Mushin al-Fadali was killed this year in 2015 in July. That I know. And then we got investigative journalist Kenneth Timmerman, author of Dark Forces, Truth About Benghazi, Iranian Quds Force and leader General Soleimani floats, according to Kenneth Tillman, floats currency in Iraqi banks, and Iranian Quds Force, the Iranian Quds Force garners $2 billion annually. And according to Fox Business News reports, U.S. dollars funneled to Iraq's central bank into Iranian banks, really, funneled to ISIS. Apparently, the United States dollars to Iraq was stopped, but however, the dollars to Iraq were started up again. So that's where we're at right now. Now, I just want to give you all a little more on this. I found some articles which I thought were quite interesting. Okay, let's go through this first. First, I want to go through this gentleman named Musab Abu Zarqawi. Musab Abu al-Zarqawi. He is the first leader of this Al-Qaeda in Iraq. So just to give you an idea, I just got to find that article. I had it here. All right. Let's see what we got here. I'm trying to find the. All right, so I'll go what I got right now. Okay. Okay, I'll go what I got right now. So I got, let's go back to that. No, not that one. Let's go to, okay, let's go to this one. Iran has reportedly, according to this article by, it's by the UnitedWithIsrael.org. Now, there's another source I have that concurs with this. Iran has reportedly been instrumental in hiding terrorists and helping them to rebuild their networks, leading to the creation of the Islamic State. This information complicates the narrative pushed by the Obama administration that Tehran and Washington share mutual regional interests in defeating ISIS. Interesting, right? And what's really interesting is, quite frankly, that goes into the whole situation because there was an Iraq-Iran war. I think in the if I'm not mistaken, Iraq-Iran war was 1980s, but I got to make sure. I want to give you the right information. Iran-Iraq War was 1980 to 19, almost 10 years. It was a conventional war. It was initially referred to as, in English, the Gulf War prior to the Persian Gulf War of the early 90s. And the Iran-Iraq War began with Iraq invaded Iran. I'm reading from the Wikipedia. And it followed a long history of border disputes and was motivated by fears that the Iranian Revolution in 1979 would inspire insurgency among Iraq's long suppressed Shia it's 1230 majority, as well as Iraq's desire to replace Iran as the dominant Persian Gulf state. Okay. So they had almost a 10-year war in the 80s. I want you to keep that in the back of your mind as we move this forward. So understand something before I push this forward. That based on the so let's get a little more information here, and then we'll. Iran provided shelter and protection to the founder and former commander of Al Qaeda in Iraq, the predecessor to the ISIS terror organization, which rose to power due to long part to Tehran's support. The Washington Free Beacon. I was looking for the Washington Free Beacon, who talks about this as well. I'll get that next week. Now his name, the Abu Musab al-Zawahiri, a notorious terrorist who was on the United States wanted list for many years and was given protection by Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps. Iran provided him with resources to rebuild the infrastructure that enabled ISIS to take over much of western Iraq. Iran's relationship with the Al Qaeda founder al-Zawahiri has been well documented by United States intelligence. It complicates the narrative pushed by Obama administration officials that Iran and the United States share mutual regional interests in defeating ISIS. The Beacon points out, the Washington Free Beacon. I was looking for that article, which because I'm trying to find a nonpartisan article but this UnitedWithIsrael.org quotes it, so it's perfect for the time being. And State Department officials have argued in recent weeks with Iran and the United States have a shared interest due to Tehran's ethnic ties to the Shiite-led Iraqi government. Tehran, they say, is ideologically opposed to ISIS because it's a Sunni extremist group once affiliated with Al Qaeda. Now, Iran has a long and complicated history, but just go to the couple of history with the Sunni militia, but just go to the Iran case, the Iran 9/11 case, and it just blows it away. The Sunni-Shia divide blows it away. Okay? So I invoked the Iran-Iraq war because you got to keep that in the back of your mind. In the 1980s, right? Obviously, the Iranian mojo, the Iranian movement for this Ottoman Empire, for this apocalyptic, global dominant Islamic Republic empire, the Islamo-Nazis, quite frankly, this whole empire that is on its way, they will not, I believe, quite frankly, allow a Sunni militia coming from the West, coming from Iraq, that they're not going to be able, that they're not going to control, quite frankly. So, worst case scenario, because I believe ISIS is Iran. Iran has more control over ISIS than they're given credit for. Iran's got their hand in there. Iran is, and from this guy Abu Musab al-Zawahiri, who's the first leader of Al Qaeda in Iraq, to Abu Bakr Baghdadi. How you doing? To Abu Bakr Baghdadi, who's the second leader. I don't know. He's the second leader of this ISIS movement, and Abu Bakr Baghdadi, I got to close this out. It's getting late. But anyway, Abu Bakr Baghdadi is the second guy, and according to according to the documents that I've seen, he may not be alive. I don't have an actual confirmation on that, but Iranian radio has him not being alive. And he talks about in documents that I saw that talks to him about before the according to the documents I saw, this Abu Bakr Baghdadi, who's the leader of this ISIS movement out in Syria, Iraq and Syria, ISIL. It's a conglomerate of different radical Islamists. The majority of the core of it is the leaders from Osama the Hussam Hussein regime, and then you got this Al Nurusha Front, which has some Islamists in it. I'm going to bring one into this game, and then there's this ISIL, the Syria Levant, the Islamic State of Syria and Levant, and that's what right now is, and all these other radical Islamists with this ISIS thing. But the truth be told, okay, Iran materially supports ISIS, weapons, money, and training. But there's more. I just wanted to give you a little flavor of that to add to the ISIS breakdown. Because if you look at this, now, here's this other one. Now, this one here, Pentagon, U.S. airstrike kills an Al-Qaeda affiliate, Sanafri al-Nassar, Sanafri al-Nassar, Al-Qaeda's chief financial officer, a terrorist organization. He was killed in a U.S.-led coalition airstrike in Syria. Al-Nassar worked for Al-Qaeda's Iran-based facilitation network before assuming charge of Al-Qaeda's core finances in 2012, and then relocating to Syria in 2013, where he's become a chief financier. Press secretary at the United States Department of Defense, in a statement issued, talked about the execution of this senior leader. Now, this is a network of seasoned Al-Qaeda operatives. Believed to be mainly from Afghanistan and Pakistan, and was primarily targeted of the first round of U.S.-led coalition airstrikes in Syria, launched in late 2014. I just wanted to bring this up and talk about briefly, just to give you an idea of al-Nassir was a long-time jihadist experience in funneling money and fighters for Al-Qaeda. He moved funds from donors, according to the Pentagon, in the Gulf region in Iraq, then to Al-Qaeda leaders from Pakistan to Syria, Iran. He organized and maintained routes for new recruits to travel from Pakistan to Syria to Turkey, in addition to helping Al-Qaeda's external operations in the West. This former chief financial officer for Iraq officially deemed a global terrorist by the United States Treasury Department. So just to give you an idea, al-Nassar has become a leading figure in the al-Nurusha Front, an Al-Qaeda affiliate in Syria. It's part of ISIS. He is believed to have worked to ensure the group remain within Al-Qaeda's orbit, and is believed to have worked closely with Mohsen al-Fadali. Mohsen al-Fadali was killed in the U.S.-led coalition in July of 2015. He was linked to Iran's role in the Al-Qaeda attacks on September 11, 2001. According to a director of national intelligence, James Clapper, this 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 jihadist, this radical Islamist Muhsin al-Fadali was the first. Was the he was Director of National Intelligence. James Clapper was the first American official to publicly acknowledge the existence of this Al Qaeda network, and it was operating in Iraq and Syria. And quite frankly, it's part of this ISIS movement. So here again, and if you just go to the designation by the United States Treasury Department. Oh, okay. Does it take me? Is this where it takes me? Here it goes. The Islamic State of ISIL, which is known as Al Qaeda in Iraq, which is known as ISIS, and the Syrian-based Al Qaeda-linked terrorist organization Al Nurasha Front sanctioned an additional terrorist supporting those groups. The United States Treasury Department imposed sanctions on the two key financiers of ANR, Al Nurasha Front, and Al Qaeda, both of whom included in this resolution. Now, okay, so this guy. We're going to get out of here in a minute. Get ready for the live show. Now, this. Oh, right. Here we go. We're going down here. Right. Yeah, here it is. Al Nassar is a senior Al Nurasha Front leader and Al Qaeda facilitator based in Syria. He moved to Syria in the spring of 2012 with other Al Qaeda fighters and joined ANF, later becoming one of its top strategists. In his role, he has used social media posts to demonstrate his aspiration to target America's and U.S. interests, and he's included on Saudi Arabia's list of most wanted terrorists. Al Nassar served in early 2013 as the chief of Al Qaeda's Iran-based extremist financial facilitation network before the return of already designated Al Qaeda facilitator Yassin al-Sawri to the position. And he was previously served in Al Qaeda as a chief financial facilitator in Pakistan. So this is the United States Treasury Department. Just to give you an idea of the level of sophistication of this global Iranian terror network. So I just wanted to add to the already what we know about ISIS. And to take it a step further, and I'm going to leave you with this. Okay. This is unbelievable. Okay. Now, everybody talks about ISIS and the smuggling of oil. The oil fields that ISIS captured might produce. This is according to the Guardian. This is a well sourced. This is a great group, the Guardian. TheGuardian.com. ISIS state's oil empire. How captured oil fields fuel ISIS insurgency. Okay. Islamic State has consolidated its grip on oil supplies in Iraq and now presides over a sophisticated smuggling empire with illegal exports going to Turkey, Jordan, and Iran. There it is. And it talks about, goes into deep detail. We'll go into this next week. I just want to say that, that answers that there it is again. Iran. Iran is there. There's a reasons why Iran's giving $6 billion, 3.5 billion to 15 billion to Syria. Oil smuggling. Syria is it's Turkey, it's Syria, it's Iran, and it's ISIS. And Russia is the big El Jefe. So just a little sidebar action because we're getting ready now. I gotta get ready for the live show. This is the Frankie Russo show. Okay, Frankie Russo pre-show. You got to join America's team. You got to go to my Facebook page, facebook.com/Frankie Russo show, and click on the button to go to the Indigo campaign and help America's team help our men and women in the United States Armed Forces. This is the Frankie Russo show. Yeah. We're getting ready for 1:06 a.m. live at 77 WABC. Yeah. See you in a few.